Hi guys, welcome to today's video. I'm very excited about today's video because I'm going to be talking about baby products or newborn products. Well, not actually, well, yeah, mainly for like the newborn phase. Items that I am going to be using for the third time. So I used all of these items with my son and with my daughter, and I will 100% use these with baby number 3 because they have not failed me whatsoever. And there's actually a couple of things that I'm going to change. I'm also going to make a video on that as well. Things that I want to try out, I guess, or things that I know that I'll just not do again. So I've made a list for you guys. I'm out of breath because I've just brought everything over. You can probably see some of the things already on the bed, but yeah, I wanted to just talk about them and give you kind of like my experience with them because this is my third baby. So there are items that I used for my first and I never ended up using for my daughter, for Maya. But these are items that are just, for me, an essential. Now, I know the newborn phase, all the newborn needs is milk, love, and sleep. And that's pretty much it. But these items just made life so much easier for me. So I think I will start with the item that I probably used the most. Hello everyone, welcome, I'm Jacqueline. The item that I used the most, and this is actually a different one than the one that I've used previously because, so before I show you this is an expensive item if you buy it new. Now I never had it new. I always had it secondhand. The first, with my son and my daughter, I actually borrowed one from my godmother. My godmother she's retired now, but then she was, what do you call that in English? She had like her own nursery. Is that what it's called? Because it's not really like that because it's like a maximum of 8 kids and she's on her own. I don't really know if that's got a name in English. So yeah, she had this item and she wasn't using it at that time. So she said I could borrow it and then give it back. And the timing just turned out great because she had no babies at that point. And I think she also maybe had another one from her daughter. I'm not 100% sure, but anyway, I'm going off track. So yes, I basically borrowed that. It wasn't even mine, it was secondhand. But now I have bought myself a secondhand one. These are expensive. Like you will now spend between the 160 to 250 sometimes euros on one of these. I'm not 100% sure about in other countries, but that's like the price here in Belgium. I would say that they are 100% worth it. So if you do want to get one, I would say yes, go for it. But before you do that, go ahead and look on secondhand websites or Facebook Marketplace because this looks brand new. Apparently her son was not the biggest fan of it. Now, I know that I will be putting my baby in here quite a lot, so they will, even if they don't like it in the beginning, they will get used to it eventually. My son probably used it the most because he was just a lot more laid back, whereas my daughter also still used it a lot, but she obviously wanted to get up and get going because she was seeing a toddler running around. You know, that's perfectly normal, but still, it was still every single day like an absolute godsend. For some reason is also my kids only wanted to do their number 2s in this. So I don't know what it is, but yeah, this is definitely the most used item with my son and my daughter, 100%. And I know that it will also be with baby number 3 because it's just like you come downstairs and especially now, I mean, I'm going to have 2 other kids to care for as well. You know, you come downstairs, you need to get their situation. You want somewhere to put baby. I'm not going to get one of those like big play pen thing. I'm not going to do that because I just don't have the room for that. So I need to be able to put baby in something that I know that they're safe in and that they're secure. This. Also, not only that, they just love to chill in here. Now, I'm very lucky that this came with this. There is another one as well with like colors. This is also expensive. If you buy these things new, yeah, this thing alone is like 50 euros. It's ridiculous. It's, you know, it's baby products. It's normal that well, is it normal? Is it normal that they charge you so much for it? I have no idea. But yeah, I ended up getting this one secondhand. her baby apparently only sat in it like 3 times, and then she decided, no, I'm not going to do it anymore. So this is basically brand new. And I paid 80 euros for it secondhand, which I think is a damn good deal, considering that if I wanted to buy one new without this, I would have, I think the cheapest one that I found was on a website that said 160 euros or something like that. So still, I still saved myself some good money there. It's one of these systems, and it's like a bouncer. You can set it here to like different heights to have it a bit lower if they want to sleep in it, or, you know, lay back a little bit more. It's got this one is different from the one that I had. The one that I had was like just buttons, but this one has a little bit more of a specific secure system, which I'm going to have to get used to because I'm not used to that. I've actually not even tried to do this. Oh yeah, okay. You just have to put it through the holes and then it opens. It definitely is a lot more secure than the buttons that I had, because the buttons did come undone sometimes, but it also, you know, was a second-hand one. But this looks brand new to me. So yeah, 100% the most used item with my son and my daughter, and I know it will be for baby girl now as well. Next up is, now this is a very, very large one, okay? And I didn't realize it was going to be this, I can't even get, it's big, okay? It's a big one. So this is called like a baby nest, like somewhere where you can lay your baby in, and it's got like these padded edges. I kept the cover and everything just in case I wanted to like sell it. And I actually did try and sell this, but then, no, I tried to sell this for quite a while and nobody wanted it. It is quite a big one. A newborn baby just kind of disappears in this. I have to put like I roll up a blanket and I put it like this, like in a rainbow shape around baby. That's what I also did with my son and my daughter until they were like a little bit bigger. But this, like in the couch, or when I would nap with baby, like, you know, they say when baby sleeps, you sleep. I didn't do that very often, but when I did, baby would sleep in here and I would put my head on this side. And so I'm still there, and not that I would ever like sleep properly, because if you've had a newborn, you know, oh dear, that's dusty. It's a good thing I kept this cover. You know how much they grunt and make like drastic sound noises. It's hard. It is hard to have a sleep, but anyway. So yes, any type of baby nest where you can lay them in. I've seen online like there's, what is there, the Docatot, by the way, this video is not sponsored in any way whatsoever. These are literally just items that I was able to get my hands on here in Belgium that were either gifted to me through my registry. I love them. I use them. So no sponsoring here whatsoever. This is just honestly my honest opinion and my honest experience. I do have to say I'm a little bit worried now with having 2 kids and my kids being at the age that they're at, which is going to be 3 and 4. My daughter is very, very wild at the moment. She's definitely going through some type of phase, or she's going through something that she's trying to, I don't know. My son is a lot more calm, but my daughter, she can sometimes throw herself on the couch just like randomly, and so I am a little bit worried that when baby is here, the baby's not going to be 100% safe in here. We'll see what happens. I am thinking of getting it's kind of like a travel cot, but it's a multifunctional one that you can also raise up, and you can use it as a changing table, and you could also use it as something else. I've seen some online that I want to maybe explore, because that is something that I would be able to put downstairs, because it doesn't take up a huge amount of space. That will just give me peace of mind that baby will be safe. So I am thinking about that, but yeah, baby, when I'm with baby, I will definitely still use this 100%. It's just, I would have preferred, when I remember putting this on my registry with Matilda, with my firstborn, and my parents got me this. Yes, that's right. And I remember them going to pick it up and my mom's like, this thing is huge. Like, do you realize how big this was? It is 11 by 55 by 90 centimeters. And I know that most of the time if you look up baby nest online, but this was the only one that was available at this store. So this is from Dream Baby. That's like quite a well-known store here in Belgium. And I will be doing my registry with them again this time because they do have a much bigger selection now than they did back then. I mean, yeah, that was like 4 years ago. That was the only one that they had available, was that size one. If you are a first-time mom and you're watching this, go for one that's slightly smaller because you only really use that the first 6 months. I would say maybe 4 months, maybe not 6 months. Definitely look for one that's like a little bit more snug because that honestly just makes baby feel like they're lost. Like I had to put blankets around them and yeah, it just makes them feel like they're lost. Next up, I don't know where this is at the moment. I do know I still have it. It's somewhere in my kids' room. I'll insert a picture of my kids or one of my kids in it. It's a foldable bath. Now, you can find foldable baths anyway now, but I remember when I was looking 4 years ago or 4 or 5 years ago when I was pregnant, it was quite difficult to find then. You could find those pieces that you put in your bath, but I was just like, that's wasting so much water each and every single time to bath your baby. I wanted something that could hold the water, that's smaller, that, you know, maybe had like a little bit of like a newborn cushion that you can put them in. And then I came across this company called Twist Shake. Now this company is bigger now than it was back then, because back then that was pretty much the only thing that they were selling was this bath, this like foldable bath. There was another one that I saw from a brand called Stock, I don't know the right way of saying it, which is also a very well-known brand across the world, but just like a little bit too expensive for my liking. Amazing products. But again, I even felt bad putting their items on my registry because I just find that they are quite expensive. But they also had a foldable bath. But this one from Twist Shake, it came, so I was looking this up and all of a sudden it came up on my feed on Instagram that they were doing this deal. And I remember I was able to get a foldable bath, a newborn cushion, and the thing, like the dripper thing for like spreading water over them. What's that called? I don't even know. Water dispenser thing. I was able to get those 3 items in a set for like 70 euros. And I was like, I'm going for this. I remember I got that for myself for Christmas because I wanted it so badly. And I love that. And I know I will 100% use it again. I used it for such a long time, up until the point that they were sitting up, they were playing around. And then obviously with Maya, with our daughter, with our second born, we put her in the bath with her brother a lot sooner than, you know, we did with Matteo when he was alone. Then we would just like kind of bath together. Can't really do that with both of them because they're just like piranhas in there. Maya didn't use it as much as Matteo did, but I would highly recommend a foldable bath. It's just so easy. Our bathroom is quite a good size, so I honestly hardly ever folded it. It's just kind of stayed in the shower, and then I would take it out when we would shower because our kids wouldn't really go in the shower with us, and then I would put it back in. Like even when it's not folded, it doesn't take up a lot of space, but it's so much more practical than having like the full-on bath. You know, like you got the stand, then you got the bath that you put in, then you've got like the pipe for the water, and I just didn't like that. And for some reason I felt also a lot safer sitting like on the floor on their level and not, I don't know. There must be something in my head. I don't know. But yeah, I just found it really, really practical. The kids absolutely loved it. And the newborn cushion, that is something that I am going to replace this time because I've used it for both of my other kids now, and it's one of those cushions that they have a new item now actually that is not one that's like has like fillable, those like little round balls in them. It's one that you can just click in there for a newborn. I think I might end up getting that, or end up getting, I think Dream Baby also has like a floatable newborn cushion or something like that, just for like the newborn phase. It's just easier that they're, you know, like lying in something, you don't have to hold them all the time because, you know, slippery and all of that does make me a little bit nervous. I remember when you're in the hospital and you're bathing them, that also just like, it just made me nervous because you're holding them like this and their head, I don't know, slippery stuff, and it's just so much easier to have one of those cushions. But yeah, I will be replacing that because the last time I brought it out, I mean, I didn't use it that long for Maya, to be fair. I noticed it had a little bit of a smell. Now I know you can wash them, but I know that the inside with those little balls, molding will start to happen in there. So I could try and give it a clean, like maybe like a steam clean or something like that in my washing machine. I don't know, maybe I could try that, because it's not an item you use for very long. So again, it's not something I want to spend a lot of money on. And I don't want it to be a lot of money and put it on my registry and have someone else buy it for me and only use it for like 3-4 months. You know, that's not, I don't know, I just don't see that as a practical thing. But yeah, I would definitely recommend a foldable bath, 100%. Just so much easier. And if you're able, like if you have a walk-in shower, or our shower is like slightly raised a little bit, but it's quite spacious. Or even if you have like a big sink, you can put it in there. I would love to have like a giant sink. I think that would be so much easier. You know, it's like you don't have to bend over all the time. But yeah, highly recommend. Next up, I've written down Swaddles. I have used a lot of different Swaddles. I actually don't have any Swaddles anymore now, because soon after we didn't have any use for it anymore. When you go from 1 to 2 kids, it's a lot, and I felt very overwhelmed with the amount of items that we had. So I ended up selling a lot of stuff, not thinking at that point that, okay, we're going to have a 3rd kid. I knew that I wanted a 3rd kid, but I think in that time, in that headspace that I was in, it was just like a no-brainer. Like, it was just like, no. It was just very chaotic and hectic then. So I did end up selling all of those, but 100% I will repurchase that. Like, I've already put them on my registry. I've like slowly started. Whenever I think of something, I think, oh, and I'll put that on my registry. But I do want to try, is it the love something? I don't know. I'll put on screen which one that I mean. But yeah, I do want to try that one. I've heard great reviews from that one. It was not one that was available to me at the time, but it is now. Now, the ones that I used before were the ones from Jolie and the ones from Pucker Baby. The ones from Pucker Baby, really, really nice, really good quality. When I sold them as well, they like honestly still looked brand new. They are on the expensive side, but honestly, when it comes to a swaddle, there's no price tag on it, unless it's like incredibly expensive. But I think the Pucker Babies, they are like the most expensive one on the market here in Belgium anyway. There are lots of different brands now. Like, I know the ones from Jolie, you got the ones from Ergo Baby, which are also actually going up in price because they are becoming a lot more popular. I used the Ergo Baby one with Maya. She really liked it as well. Just anything where they can put, not necessarily put, my kids never really like to have their arms put like down the side of them. They always wanted it to be like this. And that also makes sense to me, because when they're in your stomach, they're like this all the time. They've got their arms up in front of their face. They're not like, you know, like this. But it was still nice that they couldn't like scratch their face, and they still felt like bundled up. And they also, with the Pucker Baby ones and the ones from Ergo Baby, it comes with like this thing for over their stomach, so that there's like slight pressure, which again is also something that when they're in their stomach, they're like hunched over like this with their arms, that they constantly feel like they have pressure on their stomachs, and it just gives them that sense of comfort. Having just like when they're lying on your chest, or if they're lying next to you and you've got your hand on your baby, that also is a sense of comfort. So it's just like light pressure. It's also why kids, even kids at the age that my kids are at, I think they would also really benefit from a weighted blanket, because that also just gives them that sense of security. Just Swaddles in general, I will be using again. Which ones I will be using, I think I will talk about that in my newborn products that I actually ended up using after baby girl aroused, because every baby is different. And you know, it's just, you kind of got to see, you have to see. Like, when I bought one item of each. Like, I think I went with Matteo, we tried the Pucker Baby one, and then I tried like one cheaper brand that was like 10 euros for a swaddle, and he ended up liking the Pucker Baby ones. So then we ended up, you know, purchasing more of that. Don't go ahead and buy like a bunch of ones, even if you like just the old-fashioned way, like to get like a swaddle, like what do they call those, Muslim blankets? I never tried that. I do, however, have like you could use a blanket like this and swaddle them in there as well. But my kids were so fidgety and so like they had ants in their pants constantly, they would just get out of there and they would just yeah, it just wouldn't be good. So I needed something that really like was secure for them, but you could also do that. But just Swaddles in general, I think do really help. Again, I am going to be doing some things differently, so I don't know if a swaddle is really going to work this time. It's going to be trial and error because I'm going to be doing something different, but I will be talking about that in a future video. It's going to be something within the sleeping department. Next up, this is a funny one. Puppy pads. You know those pads that you get for puppies that, you know, they pee on and all of that? I don't know if there's another name for them. I don't know. I just call them puppy pads. This was actually an idea from my mom. She was the one who suggested this to me, and I used it for Maya and Mateo, and I still have puppy pads that I will 100% use for baby number 3 because they are handy in all senses. When you are sleeping with them, when they are in the car seat, when they are, even now, when we were potty training our daughter and she would fall asleep in the couch, like she does fall asleep in the couch quite regularly, stick a puppy pad underneath there. There were many times where I forgot about it, don't get me wrong, but still, it's still very, very handy. Like potty training your kid and you going in the car, puppy pad underneath. It's not only for newborn. You could honestly use puppy pads for so many different things with kids, but definitely in the newborn phase where there's a lot of blowouts, there's a lot of, and I don't feel like washing 1,000,001 covers for, you know, like the changing pads or wiping. No, just use puppy pads. It's just trust me on it. You will be using it a lot more. When my mom suggested it, I was like, I didn't really think of it, but the amount of times that my mom said, just use a puppy pad, I was like, duh, that just honestly makes so much sense. So yes, puppy pads. Next up is, I don't know where these are either at the moment. I do have them, but I am going to be trying something different with this. But these are these sensory cards. So there's like black and white cards that you can get. I, from Amazon, for I think like 10 euros, got a full set that went from 0 to, I think, 12 months. And they were all these different, I think there were 4 packs and they were separated in like age groups because from certain ages, they pick up certain colors more and, you know, see things in a different way. But the one I want to try differently this time is well, actually, you know what? I could do that myself with the sensory cards that I already have, but I just need to find because they're all over the place because they are individual cards, which is kind of annoying. I want them to, for a specific age group, just kind of that I can like fold them up. So I could just honestly stick with sticky tape, stick them all together so that I can just fold them up and then pull them out, and you know, because I've got them lying everywhere because we also used them for when we were trying, you know, the kids were learning to say words and all of that, and they can, you know, say what shape is that, what animal is that, or, you know, yeah, we've used them for a very, very long time, still do actually. That's why they are all over the place, but I would really like to like stick them together some way so that I know you can get those cards that just kind of like pull out now, but you know what? I could just stick together the ones that I already have and then I don't have to get new ones. But yes, sensory cards are definitely very good, especially in the beginning for, you know, newborn stimulation and that brain development and all that. Just, I use them a lot. It just like, it's almost like you getting their mind to like switch, or you like distracting them for something if they're having like a meltdown or something's upsetting them. Those cards have really, really helped me out. Next up is also an item that I ended up selling, and that is a baby gem of whatever. You know, you've got like the ones that are one piece together, that's like the mat, and then the, you know, what is that called? It's called a baby gem, but what is the bow, the arch thing? Jeez. I can think of it in Dutch, but I can't think of it in English. Yeah, with Maya and Mateo, I think I had a couple of different ones. With Maya, I also had the wooden one where you could like move, you could like hang different toys on it. Yeah, just any type of baby gem, honestly. I know that, I don't feel like we're in that era anymore, but I remember with Mateo, I was very much in the era of the beige moms, and I was very against it because I was kind of like, well, that's incredibly boring. Especially in the beginning, the first like colors are black, white, and red. Those are like the colors that stimulate and that baby sees first. I think it's first black and white and then red a little bit later on. But anyway, I remember that from the sensory cards. Don't go ahead and get like a really pretty, aesthetically colored, just don't do it. Don't do it. Your baby's not going to be stimulated by it. It's not going to fascinate them in any way whatsoever. Get the bright colored ones, something that's going to stimulate them. Specifically where there is black in and red in, that will really get their focus. And I definitely noticed I did that more with Maya, and it definitely worked. Like you could tell that her attention was on there a lot faster than with Mateo. With Mateo, I think I had like a brown one that my sister gave me, and then I did end up getting another one when he was like 2 months, because I noticed he was just not interested in it. He was more interested in like those toys, those like really colorful toys that you can hang on here or on, you know, their cot or whatever. He was much more interested in that, you know, things with color. I know it's an eyesore, but it's great for them. It's great. So any type of baby gem that has bright colors, specifically white, black, and red, they will love. Next up, Diaper bin. We ended up actually, when Mateo was a newborn, getting a second one. 1 second, need to put the fan on. You can probably, oh no, you can't. I've put the fan on the thing there because the camera is giving me signs that it's going to overheat. But yeah, so a diaper, what did I say? Diaper bin, yes, a diaper bin. 100% a necessity. So my first diaper bin my sister gave me that she had, and then the second one we ended up buying secondhand on a garage sale when Mateo was quite newborn, because we noticed that we just wanted one for upstairs and for downstairs. It was just so much more practical, and we still have those exact ones. It is a bugger to clean out. That is annoying because the smell just kind of lingers in there. But the ones that we have is from Foldable or something, which is a well-known brand here in Belgium. And you can get like we don't get the make bags because they are way too expensive, and I'm not paying a fortune for plastic bags that are just for diapers. Like, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. So no, we're not doing that. We just get, like, you can get them on Bowl. They say that they are for that specific bin, but they're not the branded ones. They're basically just like I don't know what the word is. But yeah, we don't get the branded ones because it's just like, you're not paying so much money for plastic bags. It's ridiculous. So yeah, we have two, but 100% I would recommend try getting one like secondhand, like we did. We didn't actually buy one, but we would have put that on the registry 100%, or I would have looked secondhand. But we still have both of them. I mean, Maya's actually not in diapers at the moment. This has been the first week that she's slept without diapers. She's had 2 accidents, which is for a week, like 7 nights without a diaper. I think that's pretty good. So yeah, we've not used them lately, but still, like now, obviously, you know, I'm 23 weeks pregnant, I will obviously be using them again. And I wasn't going to get rid of them anytime soon because you never know, you know. She could go back to school and have a fit and want to wear diapers again like Mateo did. You never know. Okay, next up is, I actually have 3 in front of me. With Mateo, bought this one. So this is a sound machine. This is the one from Yoga Sleep. And I actually discovered this one through Sarah's Day on YouTube. Also really recommended this one because it's also a light. It's got lots of different sounds as well. It's got a detection so that if baby starts crying, it will switch on. I never really use that. I honestly just use the first sound on the white noise sound because it's also got different ones. It's got like a wave sound, it's got like a storm. It's got quite a couple of sounds. You can change volume. You can also set it for 45 minutes, 90 minutes, or 8 hours. We just leave it on all night. And yeah, it's also got rain drops. It is just a really, really nice one. So that's the first one that we ended up getting with Mateo. I ended up getting this before he was even born. I didn't put this on my registry because I wanted it before he was there, because I use this in the hospital as well, just to help, because the noise that baby hears in stomach is like constant. That is like white noise that they hear. They hear your heartbeat, they hear, you know, it's it's white noise that they hear constantly. So going from that to then going to a quiet hospital room, you know, that's just going to freak them out. So that's why I wanted it straight away. And then with my daughter, I ended up, because my kids still, this is the one that they still sleep with in their room. They sleep in the same room now, but they still sleep with this to this day. So I ended up getting a second one. Now, I couldn't find this specific one anymore. It wasn't available for some reason, because I do really like this one over this one. This one is also from Yoga Sleep. It's just a different design, but the light is brighter than this one. And me personally, I find that the white noise sound also sounds slightly different. That's just my opinion. Maybe it's just in my head, I don't know, but it's basically the exact same thing, except this one has got some type of antenna thing on it. That's the only difference. Oh, and this one, the volume can go a lot lower than this one. This one, I put this one on the lowest one, and even that one, I would still like it to sometimes be a little bit lower. So yeah, I got this one for my daughter then, but they both sleep in the same room now, so I actually use this one. So this one is on my bedside table, and I sleep with white noise as well. Like, I cannot sleep without it now. It's amazing. Now I am going to have no, I'm not going to have an issue. I have noticed that sometimes my kids ask to switch this off. Maybe I'll end up using this one, or I don't know. I've still got both, and these are plug-in ones as well. I took them out. I don't remember the last thing I said, because my camera cut off because overheating. It is hot in here at the moment. I've got the sun on our front window. But anyway, I was going to show you one more that I have, but this one is battery powered. And I don't really like that, because when you're using it, wherever you're using it, when you're out and about, or when you're having like a small little nap, as soon as it cuts off, like, it does wake up baby, obviously, and it traumatizes them. But I have this one from Zazu. Now, I don't use this one as the white noise. I actually use this one as I love the whale. It's got like a whale sound. I actually don't know if it's still working. But yeah, it's this one, and it does have a little, my kids have pulled it out though, but I can't seem to get it back in there. I'm gonna have to try with a knife or something. But I wonder if it still works. It does. Yeah, it's like, it's got whale sounds, dolphin sounds, and just like trickling water. Like, it's just like the sounds of the sea, basically. I love that one. Oh my word. That brings up so many like memories from Mateo, because with Mateo, we use this the most. I didn't use this that much with Maya. It's also got a sensor if baby starts crying. Never really used that. It's got lullabies. It's got a shushing sound. It's got a heartbeat sound. It's got a white noise sound. But I don't really like that. That's really loud. Well, then again, on the lowest like sound option, it is okay. But it is a really nice one. I put this on my registry and someone got it, and I do really like it. And I will always keep this as a memory for that specific sound of the ocean. I love that. It just brings up so many memories with Mateo, because he like really liked that ocean sound one. And then these two I've grouped together, but they are like two separate items, and that is a changing table and a changing mat. I've noticed that specifically in the US, that they don't really use a changing table that much, unless it's like in their bedroom. But we have a changing table upstairs in the bedroom, which I actually ended up losing less because when you're in the bed and you're sleeping, I just would literally get this cushion. This is just like you can get bougie ones, you can get fancy ones, but I'm not spending over 30 euros is like my mark because it's a cushion. Like it's a cushion where you change their diaper. I just don't, I don't know. If anyone were ever to gift me a nice one, then that's great. But this one is one that is old. This was used for my sister's firstborn, and he's like 12, 13 years old. This is old, but this one does fit the changing table that we have now, which is the only one that we had. So we have one in the bedroom with like the drawers, and then we had one in the bathroom, which is like the cheapest version in the IKEA that you can get. And then we had a nicer version from the IKEA downstairs. So we had like 3 changing tables and also 3 cushions. Now I was lucky, the previous work that Mitch was at, they gave us changing cushions. They were just like these, but they were slightly bigger ones. You can get different sizes. Those are pretty battered. I'm still gonna be able to use one of them. The one is like completely ripped, like the foam, but that one was quite old. But yeah, I will definitely be using one. I think I'm just gonna tape it up. I do still have also the covers for them, but again, I find it a lot easier to wipe this surface or put a puppy pad on. What you can also use is those like Tetra or those hydrophil blanket things that you use at like burp cloths as well, which I'm not going to mention in this video because I'm going to try something different. You can also use those, lay those on there because this can, you know, get cold for baby. So you can use that as well. But yeah, just a changing table and a changing mat for me. I just feel so much safer putting baby on a changing table than scrunched over on the couch or on the floor, having to change them like that. I know you got like you fold them out, the changing pads or whatever. I want to stand up. I do have issues with my back as well, and just like postpartum, and I'm going to be breastfeeding. I just want it to be as easy for me as possible. So yeah, the changing table that we're going to be using up here is the one in my kids' room now, which I've actually already emptied out. We just have to move it into here, but we still have to change a lot in here. And then the one downstairs is still like I sold one of the IKEA ones and we're going to use the other one for downstairs. Also something that doesn't take up a lot of room, does depend on the size that you get obviously. The one that we have downstairs is like the cheapest one from IKEA, and it does have a specific cushion size. I have noticed that because my mom gave me this one. She had this one from my sister's firstborn, and it was the only size that would fit nicely in there, whereas the big ones that I had didn't fit. So yeah, definitely look at the measurements. Also, when you're buying covers and all of that, I would honestly not go ahead and buy covers because again, they charge you a ridiculous amount for them. Just use puppy pads or use like a little towel to put over it so that baby's not cold touching the plastic. You know what I mean? Next up, this is something that I found on Instagram, and a lot